Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lemon Abroad. Today I wanted to make a new video about organizing and specifically about organizing my closet. So I haven't made a lot of videos about this topic before, but I have written a lot of blog posts on it. And for many years now, I've been on a journey to reduce the amount of things I have, make sure that everything I have is something I love, and to consume less in general. And this applies to most areas of my life. It applies to buying food, it applies to things that I have in my home, and it definitely applies to clothing. Now, right now, in my specific set of circumstances, what I have started to do is take an inventory of the clothes that I wear. I want to see how much use I'm getting out of things and what are the things I gravitate to, in the hopes that this can also help me maybe declutter some things that I don't need, that I'm not wearing anymore anyway. And of course, to just better understand my personal style as it is right now. I've been really inspired by some other YouTubers who I've seen doing this, so I'm really excited to get started with this. I always love a new project. I always love a good spreadsheet. So this is really the perfect thing for me. It's also nice because I do kind of need a distraction right now. We are currently looking for a new place to live, and it's really not easy here. I'm hopefully going to make a whole nother video all about that. But I think today this is really going to, even if it's a false sense of control, it's going to give me a sense that I do have some control over the things in my life. Now, today I just want to take an inventory of the clothes that I have available to me right now. So clothes that are in drawers, clothes that are hanging up, because I do have many clothes, and so does my boyfriend, stored in suitcases under our bed. And so the clothes that are under the bed are mostly winter clothes or maybe special occasion things that I'm not using right now. Honestly, I wouldn't even be able to get them out if I tried. So they're just going to stay there. I'm also not planning on doing a declutter today. I'm not planning on getting rid of anything. This is just for me to really see what I have and to catalog it in my spreadsheet with all of its information like brand and size and things like that. That way, when I do wear it going forward, I will just be able to, check that I'm wearing it that day and I don't have to input all that information. I also think it's a good idea to periodically just kind of clean out the drawers and stuff, because the house does get really dusty and that just kind of accumulates. So it will be nice to just get everything out and refreshed a little bit. And also, one of the problems that I'm having with my wardrobe right now is that even the clothes that are in drawers are kind of stacked on top of each other. There's many things that are hidden that I actually just can't find. And since I don't just see them when I open the drawer, I don't really go looking for them. But I think that if I see them written down on the spreadsheet and I see that I haven't worn something in a while, it will encourage me to reach for that item instead of just picking up the same one that I just washed and put back on top of the drawer. So that being said, I think I'm just going to get started. I think what I'm going to do is just take everything out and catalog it as I go, and then put everything into piles. Actually, it's pretty well organized, as much as it can be as it is. But I also want to see everything and see how much there actually is, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot, but I know that there is. To be completely honest, this is not how I would usually go about this. I have done several of these declutters before, several of these take everything out, put it on the bed or put it on the floor and go through everything. Usually I do that with the aim of decluttering, so to separate what I'm keeping from what I would like to try and donate. But because I can't actually access everything right now and I can't actually see everything that I have, I don't want to do that today. I know that, especially because I'm moving, many people would say, well, you should declutter before you move. And usually I would say that too. But right now I do not have the mental space to take on that project. Right now, what I have the capacity to do is do this one day inventory. And it's going to be something that I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm about to have fun. But one other barrier to decluttering that I have since moving to Palermo is that there aren't really, at least I have not yet found, and I have asked good places to donate clothes. For example, when I was in the US a few months ago, I was helping my dad clean out his storage units. And every day we would pack up sometimes multiple boxes, and we would drive 5 minutes down the road, open up the trunk, drop them off at Goodwill, and drive away. And that was it. We didn't see them again. You didn't have just the mental load of having bags and boxes of stuff sitting by the door, wondering where you're going to donate them to, because so often when that happens, when you have those boxes or bags of clothes just sitting there, somehow those things end up making their way back into your house because they're there, because they can. So when you're decluttering, I think it's very important that you are able to take those things out of your house. Once you say you're done with them, you're done with them. So that's my goal for today. Unless there's something that's really like at the end of its life where I wouldn't even really be able to donate it, and at that point, I guess I would take it to be recycled, I don't think I'll be actually getting rid of anything today. Okay, so let's get started. That took me a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. Honestly, it was a little exhausting, really just I think mentally, because you're going through all these clothes and you're finding stuff that you didn't even remember that you had. And I didn't get to take everything out because I realized I needed to just keep putting things back as I went. But the experience I had is similar to that of when I would take everything out and go through it with the purpose of deciding what to keep and what to give away, is that it becomes very overwhelming to see the physical amount of stuff that you have. Of course, everything also has memories tied to it. You remember when you bought it, you remember why you bought it. And I found that a lot of the things I have are things that I really do like. And even if I'm not wearing them, maybe right now, they are things that maybe in the past I would wear 10 times a month. Many of them are things that I think I will keep because I can see myself wearing them again in the future. I was a little bit sad about the clothes that I found that I had never worn. For most of them, it wasn't that I hadn't worn them because I didn't like them or they weren't comfortable for me, because that doesn't really happen to me anymore. I've gotten a lot better about being selective with what I buy in the first place. But maybe just because in the last few years, a lot of things have changed with my lifestyle. So maybe I'm not going out as much, or even when I do, I'm just not dressing up. I tend to dress very casually, and I think that's fine. I also don't really like to bring a lot of attention to myself. I have a few clothes that are maybe more on what I would call like the nicer side. And so it's not that I don't necessarily have the occasions to wear them, but I think I just usually prefer to wear something a little more casual. When I did find some clothes that I like, but I forgot they were there, or I like and I haven't had the opportunity to use them, I did put them towards the front of the drawer or hang them in the front. So that way I do remember that they're there and I can kind of challenge myself to incorporate them or to wear them out the next time I have the opportunity. I really think that this can be a very helpful exercise for many people, because we have a lot of things that are very good at hiding in nook and crannies, and that we can just overlook them day after day, but they are taking up space in our lives. They are things that perhaps someone else could be getting more use out of. And so we may be able to have these things that we just keep keeping there, but we really could be letting them go and creating more space for things that we do love. And when I say things that we do love, I don't mean that we need to go buy more clothes. But I think that kind of by releasing those items and their energy, we can just free up so much more space for ourselves and the time and experiences and the people that we like to be with. I was just going through the things that are in this room. I did not go into any other room, so I didn't look at my shoes that are by the door, my tote bags that are by the door. I didn't look at anything that was in any type of storage, so whether that's a suitcase under the bed or a duffel bag. Trust me, it was enough just to go through everything that was either in a drawer or hanging up. And I also didn't include anything like undergarments or socks, anything like that. There are a lot more things that just didn't get counted today. I just focused on the main things today. And the total number of items is 162. And to me, that feels like a lot, especially considering that between winter clothes, special use clothes, accessories, purses, shoes, there's probably at least 50 to 100 more items hiding in my little house here. And that really does feel like a lot to me, and it feels like too much. And I think it's also even more surprising to me because of how many times I have already decluttered. For how many years I have actively worked to be a conscious consumer, reduce the amount of things that are coming into my house and my life in the first place. So I would really say that this was a wake-up call. There were a couple statistics that surprised me. The two categories where I had the most items of clothing were athletic wear and pajamas. And I feel like that's really surprising to me. The pajamas, some of those may be better classified as loungewear. I made them two separate categories. If I'm really honest about like, am I wearing this to sleep or am I wearing this during the day around my house? I organize them like that. And maybe with the athletic wear as well. I do exercise a lot. I try and work out most days of the week, even if that's just going for a walk. But still, I don't think I need to have that many because you do wash your clothes. However, I am absolutely not allowed to buy any more athletic leggings or athletic yoga pants type things because I have 6 pairs of them, and that's more than enough. Some of them I have had for years though, and I would say like of all the ones I have, I think there's only one pair that I'm not really wearing because they're not really comfortable, and probably I'll eventually declutter those because the other pairs that I have are so comfortable, so I always gravitate towards them. So that does tell me that I have learned more about my preferences and what I feel good in and what I am going to use and make use of in my closet. I was very surprised to find 4 white shirts, t-shirts or tank tops because I never wear them. I never go for them. I never wear white. I don't like it. I think it washes me out. And then the other thing that I'm absolutely not allowed to buy any more of until one of these other pieces just completely falls apart are black t-shirts or tank tops. I have 8 black t-shirts and 9 black tank tops. Maybe some of them are slightly different. Some of them are smooth fabric, some of them are ribbed, some of the tank tops are thinner straps, some of them are thicker. Now I know I have enough. And then the last thing that I noticed in this exercise was that while most of my clothes are bought new, an increasing amount of them are handmade items because my boyfriend is a tailor. So of course he makes me very nice things like this dress. And so now I have a lot of dresses and skirts and jackets that he has made me. And what's really nice, not just for the items that he's made me, but really being able to appreciate the tailor skill in general, is that so many of my clothes I've been able to take to him and have them altered, have them hemmed. And I just notice how much better I feel about myself being in clothes that really fit me, even if they weren't made for me specifically, but I've been able to have them, for example, hemmed because I'm petite. So many times when I buy pants, they're way too long and I would just have to roll them up or I just wouldn't feel comfortable in them. So having clothes that I really feel comfortable in has made a huge difference, and it has made it so much more fun for me to play around with my style and try different things. I really didn't have too many secondhand items in my closet still, which surprised me a little bit because there was a period of time where for a few years I was pretty much exclusively buying secondhand items. I was living in cities that had a lot of cool thrift shops where you could find a lot of cool things, but now I probably have, at least in the things that are out, 3 or 4 items from that period. I was really comfortable wearing secondhand clothes. I really enjoyed going to thrift stores and seeing what you could find there. And I had things from a lot of different places around the world. So I would have special memories attached to these things. And I definitely still believe in thrifting and secondhand shopping as a good way to find clothes. Especially you can find really good high quality clothes. But where I live now, there really isn't a culture of thrifting. There really aren't many secondhand stores. It's just not really a thing here. So I think that's the main reason why my shopping habits changed. So that's it. That's what I've learned today. I really enjoyed this exercise, and I hope that maybe by watching this, I might have inspired you to try out something similar in your own wardrobe. Take a look at what you have, see what you're wearing, see what you're not. If you're someone who's really data driven like me, it could be helpful to make a spreadsheet. I'm going to try and stick with this and track how much I'm wearing my clothing, which I think will be very insightful. But even more, I've been doing it for about a week, and I can already tell you that it has changed a lot about how I see my clothes, because it made me realize when I was getting into repeating an outfit over and over. And instead of saying, oh, okay, I'll wash it, I'll dry it, and then I'll wear it again, maybe I can grab a different color dress. So for the first week of September, I was wearing my green sundress all the time. I love my green sundress, but I also love the blue one. And I don't think I would have thought to necessarily pull out the blue one if I wasn't trying to make sure I was incorporating all the clothes I had into my wardrobe and seeing which ones I liked and were comfortable and still fit me and all of that. And I also think that when I do go to declutter eventually, it will be a lot easier if I have this information to kind of back me up. So it's been very interesting so far, and let me know if you decide to try this out. I'll talk to you soon.